Caner Universe. It is Caner Tip Tuesday. Today we are looking at, because we get asked all the time, what happens when they take a hold of you or they grab the cane and this opponent is bigger, stronger, faster. I'm going to show you different ways that you can take them down real quick. But before we do that, a warm welcome as always. Those of you that are new here, welcome again. Do this, do it now. Go ahead and hit, if you like this content, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you don't miss any future content. And in particular, avail yourself of that cane clarity call. It's at no cost to you. Have a conversation if this really interests you and you want to get it right. Everything from canes to cane training. In particular, text the letter CCC to 305-745-7839 in less than 24 hours. We will jump on a call with you and customize your plan so that you know how to move forward. That's the way that you save yourself time, frustration, and funds moving forward. So, we get asked this all the time. ACSD, primarily a no-nonsense going forward in terms of power shot, the power shot template, that's what you're known for. But what happens when somebody takes a hold of the cane or they take a hold of you? And how does this even happen? And this guy is bigger, stronger, faster. So you're going from your power shot range and it's not real effective here. He's moving in. He already had his hands on you. Why does it happen? Because we're human and because we didn't see it coming, or we weren't quick enough, or you were distracted, whatever the case may be. The only thing I know is that this is what's happening here right now. And this, of course, is never just to hang on to you. This has a follow-up, right? And criminal motive, less than a handful of things, right? A lot of times, possession, right? They want your money, want something you have. Great, it'd be great if we can give it to them, and that's the end of it. But there's other reasons, that may be brewing there. Maybe you had an argument, or he just, next thing you know is you're here, and he's got his paws on you. And this could be in a strangulation. This could be in a hold that's gonna come up. So how do we handle this? And I want to show you what you say, well, you still have that tool to come in here and do this. Look at what the problem is. He sees that coming. Oh no, right? You may not really have enough room to come in here and go and jab to the midline. Notice that automatically, first thing I do is secure the grip. And I'm gonna encourage you to practice it as such. Don't just put your hand here. Right? Because go ahead, yank away. Yeah. Don't just put your hand secure, and look at what my forearm does. It's kind of like a wave. It comes in. It's subtle, but it holds it there. Now pull away, and that just helps me maintain. You don't have to be real strong to do that, but you have to. Here now, you may have a better opportunity of doing this, but it's still not gonna be my first go-to. The reason for it is because even though his hands are here, he could go ahead and deflect that up. Now that'll hurt, but we want to what? Bring him down quick. We want to end this thing quick. So take a look down here. Now have you back here? So here's what happens. So if I was here and this happened, even if the cane is up, I'm gonna come down here and see, that's different. That starts moving and moving his posture away. Now his head is here. So I take his mind off of what's going on here and have his nerve system prioritize things. Watch what I do with that cane. I'm gonna bring it here and just slightly tilt to where his pinky side is up, and I'm gonna create leverage there. That's how you bring that bigger guy down. This is right over the neck, pressure's behind the neck. He's locked up in that L or S shape. And so, it becomes very tight in here. Now this is different. Please go slow when you do something like this. Okay, you see that I'm holding here, go ahead and remove the hand. No, as a matter of fact, if you know what you're doing and your intention is there, you can drop him from there. And now that's different because now you can move, right, and go from there and just follow up on that. So that's one way. You may have been surprised that way. The other way is, what happens when he just bull rushes, you weren't expecting, and you're caught here. Really, we talk to caners all the time and say, hey Joe, my situation is I can't ambulate very well. I can't, really move And guys, when I hear things like individuals that need a cane, they're usually not very fast, I will agree with that, in particular if they don't train. That's the operative word. Regardless of where you are, at that moment, training is what allows you to progress. So if I'm here and he does get through this power shot mode and he's up, what's going to happen in here is he's going to take your legs and try to bring you down. And now you're in a different environment altogether. It's not the end of the world. That's why we cover ground cane defense. But I'm going to ask you to sprawl. Use that hand to create just enough gap in here. And as he moves out, notice that I'm sprawled out. Now, can he go to that front leg? He can. And that's where you're going to use your cane and bring it towards you. Now, he's tapping, if you hear him, with his leg when I come in here. This is protecting the groin as well. Can he take a hold of the cane? He can, but that's just coming towards me. Now, once he's to my midline, I'm going to do it from here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn away from. And the reason for that is because wherever the head goes, the body has to follow. And if he were to take me down, it's beyond the scope of what I'm going to show here today, but I still want his head here because it throws off the biomechanics. So if his head is here, he could start lunging punches, from one, he's not real one-hand or the other, doesn't work real well. And yet here I am crushing, he's tapping me again because all I'm doing, when you're training this with a partner, and by the way, I'm not using a drone today, when you do this, it's very gentle, the pressure that you're doing here. If you want your training partner to come back and play, you're going to really force it in here, come off to the side, and there you go. It can do cervical damage and everything. My idea is just to have them disengage, right? So that's the second way that we can do this. And then, of course, the other question we always get asked is, hey, what happens where he moves in? I go to move as well, and now I'm in this situation. So what happens when they grab your cane? Well, not good. Yeah, not good, especially if he's particularly strong. How to retain this thing, which is going to be full body. But instead of getting into this tug of war, the training, you have to train. There's two things that can be happening here. Either he's going to pull this thing away from you, in which case, start moving that cane towards his center. So Kiko, go ahead and move back. That's what I'm looking to do. See how it locks him up in that L shape? Now, if I follow this through, I'm going to loosen up to save his wrist. Now it allows me, see the continuous motion? It allows me to come in and go into power shot mode if I can. Power shot mode, again, I always say it, doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go to the head. Doesn't necessarily mean that. His arm is there, he put it down, there's his clavicle. I have options with that. The other thing that can happen is that when you come in here, he's moving in now. So slightly different there. Look at the grip changed. So he went from here to here, so now I go to do that, not as effective. But it's coming towards me. So what I'm gonna do is blend with that, come over. This is called an anchor. Those of you coming down in February for the American cane, show me American cane boxing, turn around, American cane boxing certification, you'll be training anchors. It's always above the elbow in anatomical position, so that if you're here, you always want to lock up here. And the reason for it is, if I'm here and he starts pulling, it's a lot easier to do that there than if I'm higher, pull the same. Right now he's bringing me with him. And of course, if he does I have now access to this. And so when he comes in, I go with that. I'm over the top now. His head is below his waist, which throws off his biomechanics. If I just take that cane and bring it, look at my thumb. See how I'm bringing it here and here on the fingers, right? How do I bring, quick a takedown here, just down, 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 down. Tell them what you want to do. You're in a position here to hyperextend the elbow. If I just lock and turn, that's all. Notice, thank you so much today. And notice that all of these that I'm doing, you see me doing, you say, hey, no problem. And, training partner walks off. It requires skill to have the control to not hurt your training partner. That is And especially if you're trying to do this smoothly and move in, Kiko just one time, he comes in and there it is. And to be able to practice as such and do it again and work repetition, that requires skill. So please always go soft, and safety always first. And so, hey, I just mentioned the ACB certification that happens here at the Miami headquarters. It's going to happen right here, actually, where we did September's. This is the 2022 fall cane immersion. It's going to be the American Cane Boxing certification. We have 2 slots remaining, 3 slots, I believe, 2 to 3 slots. Go ahead and text winter 2022 to 305-745-7839. Or at this point, you can just call the headquarters 800-289-8188, because we're about to close out registration for that. And let's just have a conversation first and see if that is training that fits your needs, and that would be a great fit. Thank you so much always for watching. Keep caning and stay safe.